Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Grave Reviews. My name is Chris, and today I am back to talk about the movie They Talk. That's right, I will be talking about the movie They Talk. Anyways, They Talk is directed by one Giorgio Bruno. Giorgio? 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 Is that how you say it? Giorgio? Giorgio! Oh, Giorgio. Oh, I love you, Giorgio. So, They Talk is about ghosts. That's right, ghosts, spirits, as they were, communicating through audio. We have Alex, who is a sound engineer working on a documentary film when they're shooting, and he picks up creepy audio of a voice, and it turns out to be spirits from the afterlife. And then it turns out that perhaps it's related to something traumatic that happened in his childhood, and then some hijinks ensue, and also a whole lot of stuff that I don't understand because I don't really know what happened in this movie. So, They Talk. I was a little surprised when I turned this on because this was a screener sent to me from Uncorked, and I'm not here to pass too much judgment. I'll just say this. When I get screeners from Uncorked, they're usually of a lower budget, lower quality kind of movie, so I wasn't expecting the production quality we got out of this thing. It looks fantastic. It's a really well shot movie with a really great look. All the lighting is spot on. The set pieces all look fantastic. There's just some really striking visuals. There's some creepy visuals here and there and some cool makeup work as the movie progresses. The acting, pretty good as well. A lot of ADR, I feel like. I think this is an Italian movie, so I'm not sure if they're speaking their native tongue of Italian because everybody's speaking English. But most of it works. Sometimes it just feels like a little bit off. I'll say that. I'm gonna be honest. Some of it feels a little bit off. None of that ruined the movie for me. So from a production standpoint, it was great. There's moments that I thought were cool. But when the movie ended, I was like, I don't understand what the hell just happened. It's kind of like incomprehensible, I think. Or maybe I just missed something. I just realized that the background's green and I'm wearing a green shirt. So if my chest is missing, enjoy or something. So that's probably not good. I guess we'll find out what happens in post. We'll fix it in post, as they say. We're good. Like, the whole setup for the movie was shooting this documentary, and they keep coming back to us shooting scenes of this documentary, and then all of a sudden the movie's like, oh yeah, what are you talking about? We're making a documentary. Like, they just completely forget that plot line. And it felt like it was supposed to be important to the movie, but because so much time is spent on it, but then for it to not really have any point by the end is kind of weird. There's also like all these flashback scenes that look like they're like from the 1920s of these like poor little like, not Charlton Heston, Charles Darwin, not Charles Darwin, Charles Abernathy, Charles Dickens, where it's like, please sir, may I have another porridge bowl? And they're like, no! Like it's like that year, like I don't know what year that is, like the 20s or something. And I'm like, so if this is a flashback, this must be the ghost. This can't tie into our modern day character. Can it? Can it? And so that was a little strange as well. All that stuff is kind of like interesting as the movie's going along. It's like, okay, we're opening up threads here and there. But then at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie, we like get the question we're looking for. It's like, why is this happening? And the resolution and answer is like non-existent. So it's like a whole bunch of threads being opened, which are cool, like in that show Lost, where they just kept adding shit. They're like, what if there's a fucking snowmobile guy, not a snowmobile, polar bear here, you know, that's cool because it's weird, it doesn't fit. What if there's a hatch in a submarine, like all this shit, and they're like, yeah, what's it all gonna mean? And then they don't have an answer for it, so ultimately, you're like, oh, it's super disappointing by the end. What was I getting at? Like, I got distracted by Lost. So I'm not clear of like the rules in this universe. We're hearing voices, some people aren't hearing them. There's lots of talk between other characters about like something's coming, and it's just very cryptic, okay? And I'm okay with some cryptic stuff if we're gonna eventually explain it in some way that I can understand. I don't need everything explained. Some things can be ambiguous, But when the whole plot feels like it's all ambiguous, I'm a little turned off. It's not a turn on. Like on my Tinder page, not a turn on. I don't have a Tinder page. Or do I? No, I don't. But if I do, but I don't. But if I did, I don't know. So you have some like thematic things of like obsession and descending into the madness by obsessing over this stuff, and then the trauma of the past coming back to haunt you in the future. Like there's themes they're touching on that are interesting. So ultimately, I wanted to like this movie more than I did. Like as it started, I was impressed, I was invested, and as the movie kept going on, it lost me. And it just becomes a bit plotting, a little bit boring at times, and then ultimately incomprehensible to me in some ways. So I was pretty disappointed by the end. I'll give it a bada bing, bada boom. That's right, a 4 out of 10. It's a pass, probably. It's got a great look. It's got some decent acting. I think the script kind of fails, or maybe the execution on the script kind of fails for me. So that's They Talk. You just listen to me talk, and so now I want you to talk down in those comments. You see how I did that? I bing, 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 connected all that. That's pretty impressive. I just did that all on the fly too. So that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Let me know what I should be watching, and I will catch you here next time. Goodbye.